What's up, my beautiful people? Welcome to your weekly energy forecast for the week of September 16th to the 22nd. I'm the Spiritual Bodybuilder. Thanks for tuning in on IG. What's up, guys? On YouTube. What's up, you guys? So there is a lot of change and transformational energy going on in the cosmos right now. I'm sure you guys can feel it. I know I'm feeling it extra, especially intense. I know a lot of people that I've been talking to and working with having a tough time sleeping. Sleep is definitely. Hey, Antonio, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Definitely sleep's been kind of tough lately. Headaches, things, attention symptoms are big right now. There's massive shifting going on, and throughout this week, we're gonna sort of go through a major portal that's going to bring us forward into this next chapter that that the universe is bringing us into. So, hey, what's up, Karma? How you doing? So this new cycle, or I should say that we are coming. Hey, you saw that coming? Of course you did. So we back when Saturn went retrograde, okay, back in April, we all had, there was a lot of crazy stuff going on and we had to adjust, right? And then things went forward, but there was whatever went forward was in the manifestation of things that we needed to learn, right? So these things that we need to learn now that Saturn's about station, it's getting ready to go direct. And now it's like, okay, so you've gone through the process and experiences of what you need to see. And now we're going to go forward into this next lesson because you've learned, this is basically learning like up to the 13th degree of Saturn. Okay. Yeah, we kind of learned through, that's how it goes, right? And the lessons of Saturn, I want to really talk about here because, these lessons from Saturn are very deep. And maybe it's more for me because I'm a Capricorn. That's my ruling planet. I can really feel it. But, Capricorn is the ruler of the space and time. But, the mythology of Kronos, right? Kronos is said to have eaten his own children. Now, depending on your perspective or how you interpret that it kind of sounds like, oh man, that's my ruling planet. I got a demigod that eats his children. Well, that's a metaphor, of course. And the metaphor is, children is essentially our lower selves, our ego self, right? And that's the higher self, the parent. Our higher self is essentially like our parent energy, right? Hey, what's up, Maru? So that parent energy is coming in to teach us, right? So if you think of like a riptide, I was listening to this thing earlier, and this woman was talking about how there's a riptide of energy, and I really resonated with that. So this energy, it takes you over. You can't control it. There is no control. So, but the thing is that we try, like Capricorns especially, we want to control things, we want to know, we want to figure out, we want to move forward, we want to lead, right? And, they say that the path to hell is paved with good intentions. And so we all have good intentions, I think. We all want, every human being at the core wants love, wants peace, wants good things. But, intentions don't really do much. You have to take the right actions. And if you're acting impulsively or reacting from your impulses, like I was talking to Maru last night, these impulses, if we don't know how to identify them and sort of smooth, like release and let it go through us, if we actually react to them, then they're going to bring us in a place where we don't necessarily want to go, but where our subconscious mind is taking us. And that's really from our reptilian brain, right? From that fight or flight. And of course, Kamra, we all resist. All right. That's the nature of human beings. The key is, though, is to be able to see this stuff going on, observe it, and sort of like one moment at a time as we're going through it, to learn one little nuance at a time to not resist, right? The process of inner peace comes through non-resistance. But does that mean that we want to take the path of like least resistance? Because resistance is persistence, right? Some of these questions, the subconscious mind communicating to the conscious mind can be tricky, right? Because it can be telling us or guiding us in one way, and then we look back in retrospect, we're like, damn, why the hell did I do that? So it's really important right now, especially while Saturn is coming stationed to go direct 2 days on the 18th. And Pluto is also just weeks away from going direct as well. And they're, coming up into this conjunction in 2020. We're getting a real sneak peek and a real strong surge forward. We're being pulled out of this riptide. And this riptide is saying, look, shit's got to go. Okay, it's going right now, whether you like it or not. And if we're feeling exhausted or shitty or tired, it means we're resisting. Okay, and I'm no exception. I've resisted a lot, and that's the trick of going through this process. Doing this work. It's so funny because I've been doing this work for so long, and it's almost like there's a part of me that wants to figure it out so I can anticipate and get through it the easiest. Right, Kaylee? I hear you. So we part of it is okay, I want to know and anticipate what energies are coming so that I can be prepared for it and ready to go. But let's face it, there are unconscious energies and conscious energies. All right. And the unconscious ones, we don't know. So we can't figure those energies out. The only way to be able to work with them in a functional manner is by letting go. So now we have that one part of us that wants to push forward, wants to make things happen, is the analytical part of us, right? That's the part that we operate on the more superficial basis, right? On the day-to-day. And we can get caught up in that, especially when we're go, and some people are more apt to do that than not. Especially if we're go, so that we can avoid the stillness underneath, because that stillness will bring stuff up that we don't want to face, right? So sometimes I just want to be normal. That should be a meme. But what is normal, right? I mean, normal is subjective, right? I think what that really means when we say we want to be normal is that we just want to be at peace. We want to be happy. We don't want to have to keep going through all these turbulent times, all this bullshit, all this up, down, left, right, every which way but loose. But everybody does it. Everybody just deals with it differently, and communicating, opening up that throat chakra, and getting it out. That's a big part of the reason why I do this, right? So I can communicate. And, I love the people that I meet through doing this, because it's really it's a certain mindset to be able to do this kind of work and to be into it and to look at it. And we all have a different perspective, and we all can see each other's, shit from different angles. And it really helps when you have true friends, true partners in crime that are unconditional, that will stick with you, no matter what. It's only in this world, this spiritual world, this authentic, raw, vulnerable place, that you find people like that. And for me, that's been my experience, and I absolutely love it. And, yeah, the heart chakra is opening up. The throat chakra is definitely blocked. The third eye is cracking. I mean, everything's cracking open right now, because Saturn is essentially that Kundalini energy that is all right, it's time to go. It's time to move forward. It's time to make shit happen. Okay. Now, on top of that, right, this week in particular, we have the moon. The moon's making some pretty significant aspects with the sun and Venus and Mercury that have just moved into Libra. Now, why is this important? Okay, so at the beginning of the month, we had the sun in Virgo. Okay, and we still have the sun in Virgo up until next week, but it brought in a lot of great energy, especially with Uranus, right? This new motivation, Rocky music, yeah, let's go get it. Now, as everything comes into Libra, now we have everything opposing Chiron. Okay. Now, Chiron is also going back a degree this week, as well as on top of Saturn going direct 13 degrees, we have Jupiter going forward another degree, and Neptune going back another degree. And I believe Uranus is too. So all these outer planets moving degrees are significant, because every degree for the outer planet is a shift, a tick in the energy, and each one of those ticks, it adds up, right? So it's almost like activating this deeper new part of our consciousness that we've never experienced before. We don't know, right? So it's like we're having to learn ourselves all over again. A lot of us are having these weird, like, what the fuck is going on? Pardon my language. Sorry, not sorry. Right? Oh boy, yeah, especially if they're hitting your natal chart degrees. Forget about it. I have Uranus right on top of my natal Chiron. So, that's fun. And a lot of people around my age, that's going on right now. But anyways, so with the moon just came over Chiron as well, right? So we're activating a lot of this Chiron energy. And when there's an opposition, that is energy coming from outside, from our environment, right? So this is saying, like, all right, we got this new energy, we got all this new stuff going on. So yeah, we're back. Okay, sorry about that. We have all this new energy that came in, and now it's being tested. And as it's going into Libra, Libra's all about partnerships, relationships, right? So we're questioning and looking at our relationships, and what's not right for our highest good, for our growth, is going, whether we like it or not. Whatever direction, and right now, like with the Chiron energy, it may be interesting because this pain, this like deep vulnerability. Vulnerability is incredibly uncomfortable, especially when you like to control things, right? So we really have to let go of control. We really have to, level up, and at the same time take care of ourselves. And it's tough to sometimes feel, what way to go with that. So it's important to just take this one day at a time, right? And put energy into taking care of yourself. Meaning, it's a good idea to stay away from, binging on Netflix. Stay away from eating a ton of junk food. We have to get our body as healthy as we possibly can. So, because that'll give us, our minds, strength to be able to handle, all the stuff that, is going on in here. We have to activate all these deeper energies. Okay. And it may be tough. It's almost like, I look at this as like boot camp, like military. Because in boot camp, it's like you got to get up no matter what. Now, in boot camp, you're held accountable by everybody around you and drill sergeant stuff, but you have to be your own drill sergeant. You have to be holding yourself accountable, because we're answering to the universe, to source. There's no one else around that really matters, right? And that's why right now, all these decisions that we're making, it feels like almost like life or death. Like these decisions are going to determine, the next 30 years of our lives, really. And especially with the Saturn and Pluto energies so strong. They're so incredibly strong right now. As they start going forward, we're going to see a lot of things changing, a lot of things happening, a lot of things moving. And if we fight it, it's going to suck. Okay? So, and we do have a moral obligation to take it on. Absolutely, Karma. So don't beat yourself up if you're repeating lessons, because it seems like it's almost like we're playing this tape over and over and over again. And we're working through and powering through karmic lessons and stuff faster than ever in history, in a very, very long time. Okay. And this energy is like saying, hey, we need to clear this stuff so we can go. But it's like, it's going to take time. And just because, like, if you mess up, it still needs to clear some shame in there. It still needs to clear some guilt. It still needs to clear some kind of fear that you're holding on to. Now, why do we hold on to that? Who knows? It's our nature. It's because it's what we were conditioned to do. It's conditioned into our central nervous system, right? So that's where putting the energy in to self-care. I've been waking up and going for a run, and I've been eating a lot healthier and cleaner. Like, my skin feels brighter. Like, I feel tired, right? And it's been tough to sleep, but I'm still like, I'll meditate. I'll sit back when, like I really feel it. But if like, say I go to lay down and meditate or something, right? And it's just, I can't get my brain to shut up. I can't get it to calm down. Then I go to the gym. Screw it. Even if I'm tired. And you know what? Usually that ends up working, right? And, I hear you, Kaylee. Like, we are all stuck in this loop because that's where the universe is right now. Everybody is. And that's what I'm saying. It's okay, because Saturn is teaching everybody at our own pace. Well, really at Saturn's pace. But you get what I'm saying. It's however wherever we're at in our life, however we're responding to all these shifts and changes in energy is where it's hitting all of us in our perspective charts, right? So I'm just saying, this week in particular, it's going to get real vulnerable. It's going to get real intense, real deep, real emotional. Our emotions are just going to be spewing everywhere, and it's going to be uncomfortable. It might even get to the point, like you almost like, you ever like get hit with a flashbang or like something, hear something really loud and your ears just go wah. It's like too much. It's overwhelming. The senses are being a bit overwhelmed right now, right? So, cleansing and purging, whatever feels right to you, however, you see fit to do that, then do it. It's really important to be real with yourself too. You got to be really super honest with what's going on. All right. What's up, LV Fitness Man? And on top of this, we also have Black Moon Lilith is still conjunct Neptune in Pisces. So, that energy right there too, that's a lot of unconscious energy, right? That's a lot of temptation, a lot of triggering, a lot of confusion, a lot of frustration, like you could feel like people are out to get you, like you're being backstabbed, like almost like, what the hell's going to happen? Like you feel like something's bad's going to happen, but it's really not. Okay. So just let that be what it is and go through the motions, because this full moon in Pisces, this energy is still with us. Okay. So it's going to be with us for the next 2 weeks. And so let's go to the chart here. So today we have Mercury at 4 degrees and Venus at 2 degrees of Libra. Now, so Mercury is directly opposed to Chiron today. All right. Now, earlier today, the moon went over Chiron, so that made it really emotional. And Mercury, of course, is the communicator, right? So we're getting this communication, from our heart to our mind, saying like, what are you doing? Why are you here? How the hell did you get here again? And so sort of like beating ourselves up, but then we have to be like our own parent, be like, hey, it's all right. Like, let's suck it up, man up, like do what you got to do and, go through it. You have to feel it. This is a very vulnerable time, people. Okay. And numbing it out will not work. Right now, you try to numb it out, it's just going to beat you down more, because what's going to happen is it's going to stuff it down more, and it's going to, as soon as it can, it's going to come right back up. It'll come back in your dream state, in your sleep. It'll affect your digestion. It'll affect everything. Okay. So we also have the north and south node that just shifted a degree too. So now we're officially past the halfway point. Okay. So, the north node and south node are 18-month cycles, and we're at that halfway point. So we're like, okay, we're looking over this thing. Like, what did we learn? Like, this energy is like, what the hell am I doing here? Why am I in this place again in my life? How do I get to where I want to go? Right? Or you miss the train and visit all. Well, the train's taken off on Wednesday, right? And then it's going to be going slow. And then once Pluto goes direct, and it's like, all right, full speed ahead, boom. Okay. So in this next 2 weeks, big vulnerability. I'm getting like there's certain steps that we're going to have to take in order to get to that place where we're really like, okay, ground zero. We sort of have to go back to basics, right? We're clearing and flushing everything right now. Like, say, for example, you know how vibrational instruments work, right? Like say we have a singing bowl, a crystal singing bowl. You rub the thing around the edge, and it starts to wind at a certain frequency, right? That frequency affects different parts of the body, and that opens up the energy. Well, what if you put like dirt in the middle of that thing, right? It's not going to vibrate the same because that's going to block the vibration. Or if you put any kind of substance in there, it's going to manipulate the vibration. We have stuff in here that we have to empty, we have to clear, okay, in order for that vibration to function. And we need that purity. And the Virgo energy is that purification process. And the sun is our main basic energy. So it's going to be going into Libra on the 23rd, right? So we're still going through this purification until next week. Then that's when like we're getting a little taste of that next, like outside of us, looking at everything going on, the relationship stuff, and dealing with the Chiron energy that's opposed to it. But it's really going to start hitting us next week, and especially right around the new moon in Libra. There's pretty intense aspects, which I'm going to talk about in another video. Damn, Hunter, Taco Bell, man, you got to stay away from that shit, dude. That's like eating straight chemicals. I don't know how you eat that stuff. Oh, yeah, that stuff's no good. Fast food's so bad for you, right? Hey, look, we all need something sweet from time to time, but you know, like you'll be surprised after like you just suck it up for like 3 or 4 days, right? Like you get those sugar cravings and stuff. That's the bacteria in your gut, like screaming, feed me. That's a bad bacteria. You want to feed the good bacteria. So you need to fuel that with, you know, alkalinizing foods and good quality nutrient dense foods. And when you start doing that, give it 3 or 4 days, you'll be amazed at how much better you feel, and how much more energy you'll have, and how much clearer your mind will be. Okay, so you know, try to stay away from that stuff. No good. So, oh man, all kinds of weird. Man, it took me like 15 minutes to get this thing set up today. All kinds of technical glitches going on. It's crazy. Weird stuff happening. Okay, but we also tomorrow we're gonna have the moon crossing over to Uranus, and that is quincunxing over to the energies in Libra as well. So not only are we going to have the opposition to Chiron, but we're going to have the energies quincunxing over from Uranus. So that's like a lot of unexpected, like, I don't know, like a lot of surprising, like impulsive, like, oh my God, I want to, like, you know, pick up my stuff and, you know, move to, you know, Cabo San Lucas and, you know, work on the beach. You know, a lot of really weird, like, I'm all of a sudden feeling this incredibly powerful urge, but we cannot just react to those impulses. Like I was saying earlier, you know, we have to respond. We have to slow ourselves down at least enough so that we sit back and we're okay with just being, right? Because the clarity is going to come once that reactivity goes through. But if we feed that impulsiveness, that reptilian brain, and that's just going to bring us right back to step one again. Be like, all right, no, you didn't do it. Got to learn again. You know, you failed. And there's a lot of failure going on right now. It's like you got to fail and fail and fail and fail until you just have nothing left, and then you don't have the energy to fail anymore. That's sort of how I've been, you know, experiencing this. It just sucking the energy right out of you. But learning how to, you know, like work with it will help you to just what's up, Sandra? Learning how to work with it will allow you to not get so exhausted, you know, every single time something happens. Okay. But I'm no exception. I'm right there with you. I've been channeling the energy one little bit at a time, but it always seems that even as I'm channeling all this energy, there's still like more and more stuff hitting. It's just another thing. Whatever, dude. Just got to go through it. So on Wednesday, Wednesday is going to be a big day because Saturn is going direct. Now, when Saturn is stationed direct, that's the most powerful, potent energy that planet can have. And Saturn is sort of like like the superstar right now. That's like, because it's the ruler of Capricorn, so it's very powerful in Capricorn. And with all this other, it's been traveling with the South Node too. So now that the South Node is at 14 degrees, and Saturn is stationed to go direct, it's gonna conjunct exact next week again, the South Node for the last time, which is gonna be nice, because then it's like, all right, no more like karmic lessons. We can finally move forward. But man, it's like the last and final blow, but that last and final blow is it's big, right? But the good thing is that your soul can handle it and is handling it, right? And so it's only making us stronger. And we're going to need the strength, because next year our strength's going to be tested, but I think in a different kind of way, right? Because Saturn being behind Pluto, it's like Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008, right? And it's been excavating all this deep stuff within us and doing deep, slow change, all the stuff that we didn't want to feel and see. But now that Saturn is coming behind it, Saturn is planting these seeds and all this stuff that Pluto has excavated. So it's sort of calling out and identifying all these little details and all this deeper stuff that Pluto maybe missed or we didn't work through, and calling it out. But it's also planting these seeds to lay the foundation. So once Saturn gets past Pluto, the foundation is laid. The foundation is set. Now these seeds will sprout. So what seeds did you plant? Did you do the work? Have you been taking action and, moving forward and, raising that vibration, learning the lessons? Okay. Even if you're still going through lessons, like if you're learning something through the process, you're still learning, you're still growing. And that's the important thing to understand. These lessons don't stop. Once lessons stop, you're dead, right? We just get stronger, and we react and or respond to the lessons different, right? It doesn't hit us as hard over time. It doesn't drop us down. It actually might, we reach a threshold at some point, and then we go higher, right? Then those lessons, those obstacles turn into driving, motivating points. Okay. So that's exciting, right? That's, let's go, Team Saturn. And then, but we do have a grand trine, which is nice, on Wednesday as well. Okay. So the moon is going to be trine to the sun, and loosely the sun and Mars. And then the sun and Mars is also trining over to Saturn in the South Node. So that's like, all right, like that's giving this juice to Saturn, like, let's go, let's make it happen. Okay. Then let's see here. 16, 17. And we have 19th. We're going to have, okay, so on the 21st, we have Neptune going back to 16 degrees and Jupiter going into 17 degrees. Okay, so this is pretty significant too, because these guys have been squaring off. All right, so that's going to be the final Jupiter-Neptune square of this year. So that's been a big lesson too in spirit and ego, right? In our belief systems and understanding that we are all one, like the collective unconscious, and bringing them together. So that's telling us that, okay, we've built this up, we've connected to ourselves at a much deeper level. All right. And now Jupiter is passing Neptune. So it's like, all right, Jupiter is taking over. So that's like out in the world. All right. Now our belief systems are locked in there. We've done the work. We're good. Okay. And especially now that Saturn is direct. Okay. We need to take those belief systems and build upon them, move them forward, make them stronger, make it happen. Okay. So I'm actually really excited for that. Because and then Chiron also goes back to 3 degrees on that day. And Chiron going back is covering the area that it was when it was direct in its last motion. So that's going to be like right around November, December, January of this year. So Chiron going retrograde is going to be bringing up some stuff, at the very core, at the very, very beginning, or like the very center of our identity. Aries is all about our identity, but our egoic identity. Now, the ego isn't a bad thing. It's just we can't let it run rampant and take control. We have to be in control of it, right? We have to, like they say that when you master your emotions, you're a master of yourself. So this is all about, mastering that vulnerability within us, our emotions, so that we can make the decisions. No, gorilla beast muscle. I do not like to be muscle worshipped. I'm not into that shit, dude. Man, there's always one. I just totally lost my train of thought. Okay, I'm not going to entertain that anymore. So, belief systems. All right, we're moving forward, and the Chiron energy, it's digging down, and this is excavating us from many different levels. Okay, and while this excavation is going on, it's going to bring up stuff from the past, or maybe like things that we thought that we worked through that we didn't learn a particular part of the lesson from, or like things like that maybe it might feel like, damn, dude, again, why is this happening again? Why is this coming back at me? But we have learned it in the perspective or in the place that we were at emotionally at that time. Now we're in a different place. So it's, this energetic work, it works in a spiral, right? And each layer of the spiral is it's sort of like just from a different perspective, 360 degrees from everywhere. Okay. So, that different perspective is giving us more awareness, more understanding of our consciousness. And as our consciousness expands, we have to learn these new things because it's changing us at a deeper level. And the way that manifestation works, it starts in the ethers and comes down, has to go through our chakra systems. And the very last step is coming out into our physical reality. My boy, David Palma, put a post. What's up, Tiffany? My boy David Palma, his Instagram is @energy is truth, which is so true. What's up, brother? If you're watching, he posted something the other day saying that the last thing to grow on a tree is the fruit, right? And the fruit is our external world. It's our nourishment. That could be money, love, whatever it is that we want out in the real world. And that stuff takes time. You have to build the foundation. It has to grow out from the soil, build the roots. And that's what we're doing now. Like the roots are being planted into the ground. The trunk is growing up, and then the branches have to grow off the trunk. And then, the stuff has to grow off of that. Then finally the fruit's really going to start growing next year. Okay. So we're still, we're a tree that is growing. And these roots brand new, like we're shedding a lot of old stuff, and especially, the ancestral karmic stuff. Like, a lot of people out there, where we have like multiple generations of crap that we need to work through, and that we're healing. And if you're watching this, then you're most likely a healer like me. Okay. And it's a tough job, but we were chosen to do this. So, our soul is built to handle it. Our ego may think that we can't handle it, but it's funny that time and time again, you may say that, like I can't handle this, is too much, but you make it through. How's that possible? Because you are stronger than you know. And that's what you have to keep reminding yourself and telling yourself, and surrounding yourself with people and information and situations that are reinforcing that. Because if you're sitting down just watching TV and listening to people, I went out to a day club yesterday here in Vegas, like for the first time in a very, very long time, for the Olympia. And man, I was just shocked. Like, I'm an athlete, right? But I couldn't believe like there were so many conversations going on, just judging and talking smack and gossip. And it gave me a headache. Like, dude, I don't want to be around this stuff. That's why I love my spiritual friends. Like, I love fitness and I love being an athlete. But there is sort of like this part of that industry that is just distasteful, just too ego driven. Like, dude, knock that shit off, man. Let's all get along. I understand it's competitive, but I prefer the creative energy. And competitive energy and creative energy are opposing frequencies. You can't have both. And too much competition, that's not love, man. Competition is not love. Creativity is love. And that's what we have to start to really shift our mindset and our focus to, is that creative. Like, if you're going to have a conversation about good, beautiful things, like help each other out. Let's talk about creating stuff and, what we want to do in the world. And, like, just doesn't have to be happiness, but don't talk shit about other people, or don't gossip, or don't, like, it's just distasteful, and it's a very low vibration, and it's just not cool, right? So let's all be mindful of what we think, because also, if you're talking about that out loud, and you're talking about that in here, you're judging yourself. You're coming from a place of hate and just perfection. And there's, human beings are imperfect in and of themselves, in their nature. But that's what makes them beautiful. Their imperfection, their weirdness. Okay, that's where we thrive. And when we don't accept that weirdness in us, then that's where we create our own hell, and we stay stuck in there, looking for these things that will just never come, like the carrot dangling on a stick, right? And Saturn is that teacher, like, oh, you think that you want that? Okay, keep going, keep getting it. And eventually you're gonna find out that, fuck, dude, I'm done. I don't want it anymore, right? That shit ain't worth it, because it's never gonna get there, right? So we need to communicate with ourselves clearly and honestly, and we need to identify and see and pull ourselves out of that energy when it's around. And TV is, I caught myself in a period of time where I was watching a lot of TV, and I was feeling so just drained, and I just want to lay there and just, veg out and not think. But you're taking all that in, and especially I like to watch, like, superhero movies and, like, action stuff, and when all that stuff's on, like, that's what you're programming your mind to, like, think and want to be, right? So we all do it, but turn off TV, and right, turn off the TV, read a book, or listen to some binaural beats, watch stuff like this, right? Let's, like, unplug, even unplug from your daily activities. If you're always going, and you just can't be still, if you're incapable of being still, then you should start to put all your energy into finding a way to work your way towards that. Even if, like, you can't be still, like, do something else that's going to ground you, that's going to be healthy, that's going to slow you down, that's going to relax your central nervous system. And because our sympathetic nervous system is being way too triggered right now, and that makes the mind go nuts. And when the mind's going nuts, it makes it harder to slow down, and it's a self-perpetuating cycle. And we are bombarded with things that hit our senses constantly, from society in all those ways. So, unplugging is actually probably a good idea in this next 2 weeks. Try to go for a hike, go, do some floating, go, get a massage, do something that's just going to help you just chill, right? Right now, chill pill is a good idea. All right. Let's see. And then, of course, so on the 22nd, the sun is going to be at the 29th degree of Virgo. And now we have, so now we have everything in full swing. We have a grand cross going on this day. All right, so that's going to be, we have a lot of quincunx and cross energy coming up, or I'm sorry, quincunx and square energy going on. And, and we're still having this Mars square Jupiter as well, which is very like, warrior, like, let's get out there, let's make it happen and go. But if you're running super fast in the wrong direction, then that's no good. So we have to, it's a balance. We have to find that balance between taking action and surrender, between listening to our heart and being detail oriented and going forward with our mind. Okay. And it's a very tender game. Okay. Because you can't just ignore life and just, go and do nothing, but you can't be just all just plugged in all the time either. Right. Well, the Combo's right about Handmaid's Tale. It's not good for the soul or the brain. What's the Handmaid's Tale? I don't know what that is. But yes, I agree. I haven't watched TV in 3 days, and I actually feel like physically better. It's kind of a trip because I really don't I don't really like watch like horror movies or anything like that. But it's powerful, and it's all unconscious. It's all unconscious. So treat yourself with respect and love, and as long as you can observe your thoughts and your mindset with everything that's going on, and ask yourself, am I treating myself with respect and love right now? Am I treating myself, not everything around me, not my family, not my kids, of course, all that is incredibly important, but am I treating myself with respect and love? If you're doing that, and you can be honest with yourself, you are, because right now, if you're not, then you're going to feel an immense amount of either guilt or shame, because all that stuff's still coming up. And if we need to be triggered, then Saturn's going to be like, all right, you need to be triggered. It needs to come up. Okay. So be safe with that. Be good. And, get ready for a couple weeks. And then going into October too, this next couple months is going to be a lot of change, a lot of transformation, a lot of confusion. But it's bringing us forward into this next game that we're going into. All right. Good, Jessica. I'm happy that I'm happy that worked for you. So with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. So thank you for tuning in and joining me. I was feeling a little off today myself, so I was a little scatterbrained. So I appreciate your patience with all the stuff going on, and I wish you guys the best. Please, hit me up. Let me know how you guys are feeling, what's going on. If you have any questions, if you'd like a reading from me, you can go to trinityfitnessastrology.com. You can just message me on Instagram. Let me know. I'm happy to work with you. If you live in Las Vegas, I'm also a massage therapist. I'd love to work with you guys too. I'm all about, helping to balance out the mind and the body in whatever way, that I can. And I love working with you guys, and I will see you guys real soon. All right. Namaste.